Every day, more than 2.5 billion of us perform the same ritual. Each one has their own style. Whether at home, in a coffee shop, or at the office, each person has their own coffee moment. This bean that reveals its aromas during roasting has many secrets to reveal to us. Let's embark together on a unique journey to better connect with what nature has to offer. From the tropics to La Semeuse in Switzerland, we will show you the key stages in the production process, allowing us to obtain an exceptional coffee. Our journey begins in another landscape, a welcoming, green, and wild place. But let's get a little closer to the land where coffee takes root to better understand its origin. Around the world, it is at altitude between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn that the magic happens. Let's embark on this marvelous journey of coffee to explore the chain from the earth to the cup. To better understand the key stages that allow coffee to be consumed, we must travel to the tropical forests to witness the moment when everything happens. Let's go to the source of coffee. Are you ready? The journey to the coffee plantations is often a perilous one. The best plantations are located at high altitudes and in areas rich in biodiversity. This is why the plantations are difficult to access and the roads sometimes impassable. The search for land suitable for the production of quality coffee is full of adventures and encounters.
Diego, ¿cómo está?
Bien, ¿cómo estás, Ley?
Ay, don Ever, bien, gracias a Dios, diciendo que...
Coffee producers have lived in this world for generations and are happy to share their experience with coffee buyers. In each plantation, producers will select specific varieties, sometimes in conjunction with botanists or agronomists, to produce quality coffee and unique flavors. Coffee can be produced naturally without chemical inputs, as here in Colombia, where no inputs are used in this producer's plot. By encouraging a long-term partnership with small-scale coffee producers, this helps to preserve the environment where the coffee is produced and to obtain a cup with a greater aromatic complexity, typical of the environment well appreciated by consumers. To produce coffee, you first need a seed. It's then germinated and grows into a small coffee tree about 10 centimeters high before being planted. To produce coffee, the producer will pay attention to the plant and the soil throughout its growth to ensure that it remains healthy, especially when it's young. After 3 years, it will reach a height of more than 1 meter and will give its first flowering, which lasts about a week and gives off an intoxicating smell. The first coffee cherries start to appear, first green and then red as they mature. We favor a manual and selective cherry harvest to obtain the best possible quality of beans beforehand. Harvesting will take between 3 to 5 months, depending on the country. The washed process consists of washing the cherries after harvesting and then passing them through a circuit of water in several stages to sort the coffees, remove defects, and classify by quality. Once the pulp is well separated from the beans, the coffees are often left to rest for several hours in the fermentation tanks. The taste will differ depending on the fermentation time chosen. The beans still in their parchment are then put to dry on the ground on patios or on drying tables called African beds. The coffees are stirred regularly to ensure even drying. The natural process consists of drying the coffee cherries directly after the harvest. The drying time is longer, and the coffee cherries have to be turned several times a day to ensure that the drying is as even as possible. Finally, there is the honey process, which has developed a lot in the last few years. Once the cherry has reached the desired moisture content, then the drying process is finished, and the coffees go to the mill. Around 170 million 60-kilogram bags are produced each year in the world, and the main producing countries are Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, Indonesia, and Ethiopia. After harvesting and drying the coffee, the coffees that arrive as parchment or dry cherry will go through a series of important steps to obtain green coffee. The first step is to remove branches, leaves, stones, and then the shell, called parchment, is removed with special machinery to keep only the green beans. The green coffee is then sorted by gravity to separate the denser beans from the less dense ones. There is also sorting with an optical sensor to remove the beans by colorimetry, and finally the beans are sorted by hand to remove the last defects from the coffee. At the end, the result is homogeneous and the coffee is packed in jute sacks ready for shipment. Coffee is the #1 most traded agricultural commodity in the world. These prices are negotiated on the New York Stock Exchange for Arabica and London for Robusta. In the beginning, all coffee was transported by sail, but since the beginning of containerization in the 1950s, coffee has been transported by container ship. With the partner Belco, the transport of coffee by sail is made possible again. In a militant approach and aware of current issues, we want to encourage this mode of transport, which is certainly slower and more expensive, but which has less impact on the environment. The coffee industry is a very important part of our daily lives, and we need to have a global understanding of the coffee industry to be able to do our job as a coffee roaster. We are a link in this chain, and we are proud to be able to receive coffees produced with the greatest care here at La Semeuse. Welcome to Le Chaux de Fonds after this long journey. After about a month and a half at sea, we received the coffee in our storage area dedicated to green coffee. All the different types of coffee we offer our customers are stored in a warehouse. Each time a coffee arrives, a sample is taken to determine whether the quality meets our requirements and selection criteria. We check the quality of the green beans by their color, moisture content, density, and number of defects. Next, we roast samples on a dedicated roaster to perform quality control of the roasted grain. Our laboratory is equipped with all the necessary material to guarantee a control from green to roasted beans. We call Brazilian tasting the protocol for tasting the coffees to judge the aromatic complexity and roasting profile for each coffee. This tasting among professionals allows us to select from the best beans. It is in this way that we can obtain the optimal result in the cup and ensure that consumers enjoy a unique sensory journey for each origin we offer. Let's get to the heart of our business, which is an important phase in the coffee chain since it involves roasting the beans. Our roasters have always roasted using a traditional method, the slow roasting process. This art consists of roasting each original batch to the core according to specific characteristics and ensuring a roasting adapted to the profile of the terroir. The process focuses on quality rather than profitability. It is the best technique to bring out the intrinsic values of each coffee. The coffee is cooled at the end of the roasting process with air, not water. After each roast, we check the color of the coffee to ensure consistency in the flavors of each origin. With our new roaster, we can increase our precision and seek the best balance between strength, body, bitterness, and acidity on exceptional coffees. Some coffees need to be tasted with slight acidity to better appreciate the sophistication of their aromas. The last phase of production is bagging. We use printed packaging made of materials that facilitate recycling. During the shaping process, we use a degassing valve to preserve the aromas and prevent the coffee from oxidizing. Here in our production area, we prepare all types of coffee packaging for the various coffee preparation methods. All our modern equipment facilitates the work of our team, improves comfort, and above all, reduces the time between production and delivery to the customer. We guarantee freshly roasted coffee at altitude and delivery in the shortest possible time. All our products can be found on our website, but also at all our retail customers throughout Switzerland. The coffee shop. But before any tasting at home, we invite you to taste our coffee in our coffee shop, where the coffee is meticulously prepared by the hand of our barista. You can find out more about the history of each coffee and choose your method of preparation and origin to give you a unique journey rich in flavors. It's possible to taste the cappuccino prepared with brigga. For the pleasure of the eyes, the latte art is a technique to highlight the coffee. Coffee is a drink of exchange and sharing. It's an important moment in a day. It's also a whole sector composed of women and men that we wish to pay tribute to through this film. Coffee is part of our life. It's in our routine, and drinking a good coffee promotes health and good energy. Whether you like it creamy, black, with milk, in a slow coffee method, alone or accompanied, in a coffee shop or at home, there is always a coffee moment. So it's never too late to drink good coffee, and especially be aware of its long journey before arriving in your cup. For over 100 years, Semeuse has been committed to a suitable and environmentally friendly coffee industry. Loyal to its place of creation in La Chaux-de-Fonds, the altitude roasting allows the coffee beans to blossom and reveal a unique taste of coffee. At every stage, from the origin to the cup, each decision, each moment, and each person counts to obtain an excellent coffee. Semeuse, a story in each cup.